And for my strategy, I call it the cheat code because I know growing up when I was playing video games, if you had a code you could put in, it would make you better at the game or make you run faster. And so I call it the cheat code because when I look at this, it kind of gives me the advantage that I need to catch these pips in the market. And so for my strategy, I'm a swing trader by design. I would prefer it over all my other strategies where I scalp or intraday. I love the swing trading more because it's like set it, forget it, and or go to sleep or wake up and profit. And so for those that don't know me, my name is Jamal Green, and I've been trading for just a little over 2.5 years. I kind of dove right in and just focused on the learning because I knew the money was going to come once I understand how this market moves. And so with my swing trading strategy now, I am just going to start off on the day chart, and change from candles so I can look at the line to remove some of the noise. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to get the horizontal line, and I'm just going to look for areas where the market kind of changed directions. And so I like this area here. We can see the price was going up. It stopped there and started to go down. So I want to keep an eye out for that. And then as I look in this area here, I'm basically looking for areas, support and resistance. And so I'm looking for prices to change directions on one side as well as the other. But I know when I look back, I don't really see anything above this line here. And so the more touches, the stronger the area is. And so that's basically what I'm looking for some support and resistance. So I like this because I see the resistance here, and then we got some support here. And so that's why I placed this line here. And now just keep on working my way down. I see lots of support here. You can see the price was coming down, and then it stopped and went up, came down, and along this level, you can see this whole area here is where price was finding support and then changing directions. Same thing here. So let me just draw the arrow. So I'll use these to basically, this is how I mark up my chart, and I just use these areas to kind of help me, and I can basically do this all day. All right, but I don't want to bore you guys just drawing arrows. All right, so let me get my line back. And then we're just going to target some of these here. We on the day chart, so I don't mind them being a little bit close here. But when we go back down to the 4 hour, it's going to be a lot of space. And so I just want to capitalize on some of these. I can place more lines if I wanted to, but when I go back to back test, it's kind of going to help me to basically identify what areas I want to target. Okay, so I think that's enough for now. If need be, we can always come back. So I'm just going to change back to the candles, go back down to the 4 hour. Now the 4 hour is where all the magic happens for me. I trade on the 4 hour. I get my entries from the 4 hour. If we want to get a little bit more technical, we can. But for the purpose of this training, I just want to show you guys everything on the 4 hour. All right. Basically, that's what I use, and I use pending orders. So what I'm looking for now is because we know support and resistance is more than just this one line. I want to place zones on my chart so I can cover that entire area where price may possibly find support or resistance in the future. And so I'm just looking for more candles in these areas so that I can mark up from the top and just work my way down. So when we look at this top area here, kind of don't have much to work with on the top side. And so what I'm looking for is I want to catch where the candle will close and open. So we want to have a buy candle and a sell candle, and I want to put my zone there. Start it there, and then do the same thing for the top side. I would love to have some candles above so I can draw an accurate zone, but don't worry about being too technical. Just do what feels right for you right now. And so I know I kind of skip over this one, but what I do is I basically right click on one of these circles, the white circles, so that I can edit it. I go to settings and coordinates, and I change one from a negative number, and then I do one to a positive number, so that I can so that it can go all the way in the past and all the way in the future. And then I do that the same for all the zones. I just basically looking for where the candle close and open. And you can use either one, whatever one you like. I'm just gonna use this one and stop it there. One negative number, one positive number, and just basically do the same thing. So I'm kind of gonna speed it up a little, but I want you guys to be able to identify what it is that I'm actually doing. So I'm looking for where candles stop, go in one direction, change. So it's a sell and a buy candle here. I don't want it too wide. I also don't want to make it too slim. So I'm using these candles here instead of these two because they're too close, in my opinion. Like I say, when you trading it, you kind of draw what you see. And so whatever feels good to you, whatever you like, we're gonna figure out later if it's actually good or not when you go and back test. I'm gonna show you guys how to do all that. So I'm looking at these two candles. Let me just zoom in. I'm looking at these two candles. I'm gonna put the bottom of my zone here, and then I'm gonna take it up and catch this one here. These two candles here, the buy candle and the sell candle. Right click, go to settings, one negative number, one positive number, and hit OK. And I zoom out. And this is going to make sense to a few guys. Just let me get the cheat code on, and then we can go to work. I can show you guys how easy it is to catch some pips in this market. All right. Over time, with you drawing up your chart, you're going to get better at it. You're going to get more comfortable. But if you kind of know where the market is going to slow down, stop, change direction, it's going to help you tremendously with catching these pips. If you know where the market was going to go or where it was going to stop, wouldn't that be awesome? I know some of you are about to catch them pips. I decided to use these candles here. Didn't want the zone to be too wide. So the thing about this is once you put this on your chart once, you don't ever have to do it again once you save your chart. Once you save your chart, it's always going to be there. So it's just a matter of you scanning the market to see what you can find. I don't like that's a little bit too close for me. I want to be able to trade in between these zones, and that's why I don't want it to be too close or too big, the zone. Okay, I'm gonna do this last one and then I'm gonna stop. And so we can actually see what's going on in the market. Trust me guys, this is gonna make so much sense. All right, so when we look at this chart and we see where these zones are, you kind of get an idea of what price is doing around these levels. See price stopped here and then started to drop. Kind of broke the zone, retested, and then went to the next zone. Went up, broke the zone, came back, retest. So it's a break, a retest, a break, a retest, right down to the next zone. Price went back up, found resistance, dropped down, went back up, broke this zone here, came back down, retested, went all the way back up. Let's just count this here. Went back, left this long wick to let us know that the market is trying to go down and fail, and then you can ride it back up again. And you can continuously do this on the chart. So let me just delete these and actually zoom in so we can see what's going on. I actually look for certain confirmation items, and that would be an engulfing candle. I look for engulfing candles off of the zone. I also look for double tops. So if we were to say that this area here, well, we just look at these three areas, and we see price approach this area, this zone, and then we see price drop back down, go back up. It kind of shows me that the market wants to go down. So I can draw my trend line now. I can draw my trend line because we have two touches on the trend line now. We can expect price to drop all the way down to the next zone. So I call this one a double top. I don't take the standard double top where price is basically even. I want price to be able, I want to be able to actually draw a trend line so I can see that price is going in that direction, and I ride it out. And I set 3 TPs along the way: TP1, TP2, TP3, which I'll show you guys on the chart. So the double top is one. Double top. And then we have a double bottom where we see price approaches zone, find support, move away, come back. I am now able to draw my trend line to show me that price wants to go in the upward direction because I have 2 touches on the trend line. And then we can expect to see price rise, go all the way over to the next zone. This would be considered double bottom. This is the double bottom that I trade. And then I also use the engulfing candles, which I'll show you guys on the chart. So basically I could draw, because I have 2 touches on the trend line, 1 touch, 2 touch, 1 touch, 2 touch. And that's enough. So that's why it's a double bottom. If you're looking at double bottom, you're looking to buy. When you see a double top, you're looking to sell. All right. So I also want to show you guys something about support and resistance. That's kind of why I do all these lines. So you're going to hear me talk about break and retest a lot. And I'm looking at this level as a support level if price is above. If price is above, when you see price come to an area and it moves away, we call it support. It will act as the floor. The support level can become resistance. And so when you hear us talk about break and retest, it's because price broke that support level and it went back up to retest it. And now the support became resistance. So this here is support. And now we call this resistance once we see price move away. And start to head in the opposite direction. So if you hear me say break and retest, this is basically all I'm referring to. A previous support level turn to resistance, or a previous resistance level gets broken, price comes back down and gives us that retest. This is the retest here where price comes back to the level that it broke. This would be support if price was to move away. All right. So you hear me say break and retest, that's what basically I'm referring to. And so that's what we're kind of looking for in this. If you just follow the story of what price is doing, we already have these areas because we already identified them as places that the market turns around. When we went to the day chart and used the line chart, we see now that price broke the support level, Sure, if I go back, we can see that this area was support. Price went back up, retested, left this long wick right here. It showed us that the market tried to go up and failed, and then after that long wick, we finish as a bearish candle, and let's say we ride it down to the next zone. Easy 246 pips, no hassle at all. All right, easy money, easy money. So let me just delete that and let's finish follow what price is doing. Price came down, left this nice wick. Price is still inside the zone. And so we just want to wait and see what price actually does. This isn't any confirmation, even though it left us this nice wick. It isn't enough confirmation for me to take the trade as a buy. But even if you were aggressive, I'm a very conservative trader, so I wait on my confirmation. No confirmation, no trade. You still would have been able to get in profit at least 100 pips. Of course, we would love 100 pips, but I need that confirmation. No confirmation, no trade. So we follow what price is doing. We get a break. Price clearly breaks this support level. Previous resistance. Price was trying to find support here. It broke through. Price went back up. It tried on this candle to go up, closed below. Tried to go up again, failed. Price went up, left this long wick for us now. Again, the market is telling us a story. 3 times the price tried to break this area and it failed. So this can clearly, because we see this resistance in the past, we already know that this is a pretty strong area. Price struggled to break it over here. We see this over here, this long wick. If you want to wait for price to get out of the zone and you want to enter over here where you see a lot of these long wicks over here where the market tried to go up and fail, this would be probably the perfect opportunity for you to get in over here with all these wicks, and you still will be able to catch 200 pips. Easy money, no stress involved. You guys can see that price is basically going straight to the next zone. It's not always going to be like that, but at the end of the day, that's 200 pips, and you can just continue to follow the story. Now, when I told you guys about the double top and double bottom, all right, we have an example now where we see price came down to the support level, and I call it support because price is above. It came down, found support here, moved away, came back down, right? I'm going to remove that arrow. So now, when we look at it, we have one touch here, second touch here. Can I draw a trend line? Trend line, 2 touches. Trend line, 2 touches. Easy sign to say, okay, price is showing me that it wants to go up. I can set my buy stop. I can either wait for this buy candle to actually print, or I can just do a market execution. Me personally, I'm going to do a buy stop. Probably go from here, ride it up to the next zone for 195 pips. Stop loss would depend on what you prepare to risk. All right, so I pretty much like 50 pip stop loss, but I want to make sure I'm under the trend line. Sometimes I may open up a little bit more because I know the price can come back and retest this area again. And so for this example, we go in for 200 pips. My risk to reward is 1 to 2. So I'm okay with 100 pips in this example. Definitely, if I would work my way down the time frames to kind of play it out. But looking at how this played out here, 1 touch, 2 touch, price went up to the next zone. I want to show you guys when we get another confirmation. I want to show you guys how I set my TP1, TP2, and TP3 using support and resistance as well. And so when we look at, as we continue to watch price, right? We have 1 touch in the zone. I always look for a buy and a sell candle to count my first touch. And then we have a second touch here with a sell and a buy candle. Price found support here, gave us our second touch. Had we waited for this candle to actually print? Because this is an engulfing candle where I can basically pick it up, put it over the previous candle. This is a good time for me to enter this market. I can either do a buy limit. Once this candle closed, I can do a buy limit on the body of the candle that got engulfed. or I can do a buy stop. But for me, it kind of doesn't make sense to do a buy stop here because it's so close to the zone. I would much rather this limit activate, or you could have just do a market execution here because you saw price break and retest this zone here. And this would have been, had you entered here, this would have been an easy 230 pips. I try to be as realistic as possible. I probably would not have entered until this candle actually closed, and set a buy limit at this level here and just ride it up from here all the way up to the next zone. I know they're saying the stop loss hit, but if I'm in profit 100 pips, there's no way I'm going to take a loss on this trade. All right, so I probably would have closed out either at 50 pips, probably take my 50 pips and run with my stop loss in profit. And then when we get this long wick again, probably do a buy stop above this candle. We do a buy stop above and ride it up for the rest, all the way up to the rest of the zone for 95 pips. All right. So continue to watch price as it moves. We see price struggle to break this area here. This would have been an indication to say, okay, it's a possible sell. We have price trying to go up and fail. One, tried to go up and fail. Two, tried to go up and fail. Three. Three is actually enough for me, but we have confirmation with this fourth one. And you see this long wick, that means price tried to go up and it failed. The price ended up closing down here. Sell stop below this candle, and we can ride it all the way down. So just the fact that I have my zones on the chart, it's kind of helping me to catch these pips. So we on the 4 hour, but this 220 pips, right? Let's see how long that would actually take for us to hit if we get a sell stop right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, 16 hours to get 220 pips. No stressing. You guys can see the price went straight into profit with the sell stop, straight into profit, straight to the next zone. We get out the trade here. We don't worry about what's going on here. We just waiting on a break and a retest. Every time you see price approach a zone, we either looking for price to bounce off the zone, or we're looking for price to break it and give us a retest. Probably give us a double top where we could draw the trend line and then we ride it down. But a break and retest is enough for you to hop in the trade and capitalize. Definitely, you would like to have more confirmation with the break and retest, but the fact that you can see that these areas are pretty strong, a lot of resistance here, and then you get resistance over here. This area is a strong area, so that's enough for me to take the trade and ride all the way down to the next zone. Easy money. Easy money. With practice, you guys are going to see this, and you're going to be happy that you are on this call today. All right, so there are times where price just break this zone and never give us our retest. Guess what? I just missed that opportunity. I'm not going to trade it because no confirmation, no trade. No confirmation, no trade. Price broke this zone, never gave us a retest. And so we let it fall, we let it fall, we let it fall. All right. If you feel like your zones are too close, when you're doing your back testing, feel free to go ahead and delete a zone. When you're going back to look how price played, feel free to go ahead and break a zone, because in between these zones, you also have some minor zones. So I'm gonna just delete this area here. When you're looking at how price moved, every time the price stopped, always ask yourself why the price stopped here. We see the price stop here, so I'm just going to place a line there, and we can go back in the past, and we can see that this was support here, so it was support in the past. Support, support, resistance. Anywhere the price stops, you guys can come on the chart and see that that area was a previous support or resistance levels. To me, these are minor zones based on how I draw my zones. Some of them will be minor zones, but they are price reversal areas, and so you wanna be mindful of them. So if I was to, let's just say I was to ride this down on a sell, and I go in for, let's say 330 pips, I would use these minor zones as my targets: TP1, TP2, and then this would be TP3. All right. And so once TP1 hits, or you get about 20, 25 pips in profit, stop loss moves to break even. Once TP2 hits, stop loss moves to TP1, and you can take partial profits along the way, because price can come to TP1, find support, and then go ahead and change directions, because they are minor zones and price reversal zones. All right. So just keep that in mind as well. Just looking for some more setups. We're looking for breaks, retest. See price struggling to break this area here. Buy stop all the way up to the next zone. Buy stop all the way up to the next zone. You can ride it out. You don't have to set it all the way up there. You can choose TP1 or TP2. Plug that in and call it that. I also twin trade. I twin trade or triple trade. And I guess I could cover that in a different video. I basically just, whatever my lot size, whatever my trading plan tells me that lot size I need to use that day, I basically, if I'm going to twin trade, I divide it by 2. And that way I'm not over leveraging my account. I'm only risking between 1 to 3% of my account balance per trade, per position. All right. So if my trading plan tells me that I need to use a 0.02 lot size, then if I'm going to enter 2 positions on that one trade, on this one buy, because of the break and retest, then I'm going to enter 2 positions, one buy stop to TP1 to TP2, and then one buy stop to same entry, one buy stop to TP3. All right. Stop loss will be the same on both. Once TP1 hit, my stop loss for both of them would move to break even. I'll take a partial profit. Once TP2 hits, it will kick me out of this trade here. And then I would move my stop loss now to TP1 and then just ride the rest of the trade out. Or if I'm up 200 pips and the market starts to look a little shaky, I can either close out, take another partial profit, or just let the trade run. All right. But just following the market, like I know you guys hear me keep saying, just listen to the story. The market is going to tell you what it wants to do. You guys see price approach this zone here, right? Market approached the zone, went back up to the next zone, came back down. Price is struggling to break this level here. Price is struggling to break it. Either one, price is struggling to break. Price broke it here, but it didn't give us a retest. And so when we got this retest here, guess what this is? A double top, 1 touch, 2 touch, and we ride that down. We either do a sell limit on the body of the candle that got engulfed. Oh, I want this to activate the trade. Sell limit on the body of the candle that engulfed. The sell limit, because the price is already down here. We set the sell limit, and we ride it all the way down to the next zone. Let's just put it down here so you guys can see. Price activated on the sell limit. Even if you did the sell stop down here, sell stop price, you got 83 pips. I prefer the limits. I prefer the limits. 50 pips stop loss. When engulfing candles, I prefer the limit because my stop loss is tighter. On the stop losses, my stop loss on the sell stops, my stop losses are kind of wider because I want to put my stop loss on the opposite end of the engulfing candle. All right. And so with the double top here, I'm riding it down, catch 200 pips. The same level where price was struggling to break. The same level that price was struggling, and you're showing us all this support. Is the market telling us that it's trying to go down and fail? And if the market can't go down, where's it gonna go? We could go up. And so we get our confirmation. We got our 2 touches. Let's ride that up. Let's ride that up. Long wick. Boom. Catch that easy 100 pips, 80 pips. Easy money. Easy money. You guys didn't hear me stressing yet about no trade, right? Price broke the zone, came down, gave us a retest. If we didn't enter here because price was in the zone, I can see 3 wicks where price tried to come down, failed, tried to come down, failed. This is actually a reversal candle. Uh, and then price started to go in that direction. More wicks here on this zone here gives me more confidence to take the setup. I wait on that close. I have a little bit of drawdown. TP1, 100 pips, smashed. TP2, 200 pips, smashed, and then price came back down here. Stop loss hitting profit because now our TP3 is the next zone, right? So we in profit. There's no way you're gonna let a winning trade turn into a losing trade. You're up 200 pips. Do not let that trade go back in the negative just for probably another 100 pips. Take the money off the table. Take the pips off the table. Sorry, and just ride it out. Again, you see price come back down to this zone here. You may be not sure if to get in here, but clearly because you have your zone on the chart, you kind of say, okay, this is a strong area. I can see the resistance. I can see the support, and this is possibly another support here. Let's wait. Okay, price is going up. It tried to come back down, failed. Tried to come back down, failed. Guess what? I want to get in for a buy. We ride it back up. We want to get all the way to TP3, I know, but you ain't gonna be mad at a 110 pip trade. You won't be. I promise you that you won't be mad at a 100 pip trade. And so you just continue to follow the story. Even if you're looking at these little minor zones, remember they are price reversal zones. And so you want to pay attention to them. You guys can see that price is showing us that it wants to go down here. I personally was not going to take this setup because I would have had my trend line here and price would have broken this trend line here. This area is a resistance area. I don't want to fool with it. Price close below the zone. I need a break and retest because this zone was broken. This zone here was broken. I need a retest here, or I need price to come back up, give me a retest down here, and then we can ride it up. And clearly, when you follow what price did, price broke the zone, came back down, gave us a retest, and then here it came back down, gave you some drawdown if you entered from here. But that's why I kind of like to use the pending orders. So if I see price struggling, I get the buy candle printed. I want to set my buy stop a few pips above the wick. Set my buy stop a few pips above the wick. This wick here would have activated the trade and it would have given me some drawdown, but that's okay. The safest place for your stop loss is on the other side of the zone, and then you can ride it all the way up. I would have personally had my TP to TP3, but I twin trading, so I would have capitalized on TP1. Stop loss would have been at break even after my partial profit, and I probably would have gotten stopped out in profit. So it's just a matter of you following the candles and letting the market tell you what it wants to do. Again, we got some wicks where price tried to break these zones or tried to go higher and it's failing. Guess what? You got 2 touches here where price is showing you that it wants to go down, as well as an engulfing candle here. So let's say we had set our sell limit here. Our sell limit here. Sell limit here. Our targets. The minor zones are still the same. You can see the resistance. TP1, TP2 would have hit for 155 pips. TP3 would have been down here. We stop loss would have hit in profit. Or if you did the sell stop from over here, you would still catch basically the same amount of pips. So as we follow price, there's another double top. We have 1 touch up here, next touch out the zone down here. Guess what? Sell stop, someplace down here. TP1, TP2, TP3. TP1 would have hit. TP2 price would have came down here and found support. Stop loss would have hit in profit, but you still get to follow the story. and see what's going on. That's 160 pips you in profit. You're not gonna let that turn back into a losing trade, and you basically just following price. Now, one thing that I didn't mention to you guys is if you've been on my training before, you know that I use um, the highs, the higher high, higher low, lower low, and basically how the market moves. Get a high, a higher low, we get a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, and basically all this zone is previous resistance turning to support, most cases, in some cases, and whenever we notice that a higher low gets broken, whenever a higher low gets broken, we see price make a move up. Once you see price break that higher low, we're gonna wait for that pullback, and then we're looking to sell. So there's the trend line, there's two touches, and then now you can ride the mark, ride it all the way back down to the next zone. All right, use the support resistance areas to help you, but I don't want to dive too much into the higher high, higher low. Once you have the zones on your chart, it's going to be a tremendous help to you. If you're not sure what you're doing, just come to the chart and just start drawing it up. I promise you, over time, it's going to get better. You're going to get better at drawing up your zones and finding these key levels in the market where the market finds support and resistance. If you just follow the story, the market is going to tell you which direction it wants to go. You just got to be patient enough to wait on it and execute. Be able to pull the trigger, no worries. All right. Price broke this zone here, went back, gave us this retest, came back up, struggling to break this. So you sell, catch these pips on the way down. So here's an example of another double top that kind of didn't play out well, but we're on the 4 hour. Let's keep that in mind. We're on the 4 hour, right? So you see price struggle to go up, struggle to go up, struggle to go up, struggle to go up. And so you enter your sell position. 50 pips, I'm sure you're going to take 50 pips. I'm sure you're going to take 50 pips. TP1 already hit, depending on where you entered. And you can set your own levels. You don't have to use my levels where I decide to use my TPs. You can say, okay, I want to use the standard 10 pips for TP1, TP2, 50 pips, whatever you're comfortable with, because at the end of the day, when you're trading, it's only going to be you there. And so I would tell you, keep that in mind. The market is showing us that it's finding support. It's struggling to go lower. It's not going lower. Nice long wick. Easy, easy, easy money. Say we ride it up from there. Boom. 300 pips. See how long that would have taken us. 2 weeks. Yeah, I was going to break this up. I probably was not going to hold that trade for 2 weeks. We in profit here. Let's see how much pips. We in profit over 100 pips. I definitely probably would close that out or take partial profits along the way and then leave the rest of it. But when we look at the minor zones kind of help us out too. You know that once you see price come below back down here, we in a buy, right? We in a buy from here. Let's just say we're going all the way up to the next zone. We'll just move this out of the way. You see price break this zone, this TP1, and you see price come back below here. And you see price come back, give us this resistance over here, this nice wick off of this TP1. The first thing you notice is this resistance over here is letting us know that the market is setting up to drop again. All right, so when you want to check your trades to see how the trade is going, you want to manage your trade, you just kind of pay attention. Don't try to hold on to the position. Look at the market for what it is. Don't force yourself to see a buy because you're in a buy. The reality of it is the market broke this zone and gave us a retest and it's showing us that it wants to drop. Now, I can understand why the market came back down here because we had an engulfing candle here, and I trade the engulfing candles. I wait for price to come back to the body of the candle that got engulfed, right? Wait for price to come back to the body of the candle. Price came back down and it went all the way back up. So you got to pay attention. I missed it just now, but clear as day when I try to understand what happened, why price came back down here when we had this strong support. And I see the engulfing candle, buy candle over sell candle. If I pick this up and place it over it, then it clearly engulfs it, clearly covers it. So clear indication to go up and catch that 320 pips. Just follow the story. Promise you guys. Nice long wicks off these areas. Nice long wicks. Price is showing us it's trying to go down, failing, trying to go down, failing. No doubt that's why price went up higher. Remember, ask yourself why the price struggled to bring this area here. We go back in the past, previous resistance. You can see the price found resistance on this area before in the past. All right. So just listen to the story, guys. The market is going to tell you what it wants to do. You just got to be prepared to listen. All right. So another double top here, one touch, two touch, and you should be good to go. All right. I think that was pretty clear. Gonna take some questions now and see how I can help you guys. Gonna check the chat and see what's going on.